So let's talk about the studio series The Fallen.
Now this is literally the well, what was it this time? For the third or fourth time they literally released the Fallen. You know, the big baddie from his own film that he was literally underused and was killed off in the most brutally way by Psychotimus Prime, aka Optimus. But either way, this figure literally looks exactly how it does in the film. Now there was also the official Revenge of the Fallen toy line, which was pretty good and pretty much better than the old film itself, mostly. There was literally a toy of him which has more of a gimmick and has more like the red effect parts for the whole Mecha Live feature. And then there was also the Hunt for the Decepticon, the Fallen, where he was mostly blue, but pretty much more a little bit more accurate. Not completely accurate, but accurate in the way that he has the staff, and of course the removable mask gimmick. In which case, this figure also has the, oh boy, yeah, this unfortunate little bastard. Now the mask itself is very nicely detailed, however, it also has the sub-rubber plastic, which is only a matter of time before it will deteriorate in years, but yeah, it's also almost pretty easy to, well, untab and all that sort of stuff, but also holds into place. And also use the light up feature with the transparent eyes just for the light piping gimmick, which I will show off by just put this one back into his head, which you need to have his shin be inserted first and then clip into place. But I'm literally saying this right now because when it comes to the light up feature, it's like a Russian roulette and it's sometimes really crappy, but once you get hang of it, it may work one or the other, but yeah, it's a really neat bit of a Russian roulette. Depends on what angle the lights are. And in some cases it does work, but when it doesn't have light, it looks broken and oh, sweet motherfucking lord. Yeah, while I do love the overall accuracy, what I don't really like is how they use translucent plastic as actual kind of limbs. And in this case, the entire arm and some parts of the body. And for those who don't know, sometimes with translucent plastic works as joints and all that sort of stuff, they tend to crack if you do something wrong or move it in the wrong position. And Hasbro has a track record of doing it multiple times. And by multiple, I mean almost every single goddamn time. But in this case, I think it still holds up. It's only a matter of time before he falls. Now, I will say the overall articulation still is a pretty updated from the original toy in some senses. However, the sacrifice also is due with no waist gimmick, which is a pretty shame. It's a shame, but due to the overall transformation and considering how many Voyager figure I got, and also the upcoming Shockwave figure I'm gonna get soon, yeah, I pretty much am living with it. But yeah, he does have the hot rod shoulders as well, but he can also move out that far. But he also has these mandibles that is also articulated, but due to it being attached on a ball joint, it's depending if it stays or untabs, which is a bit of unfortunate, but you can pretty much pull neat poses, like he is prepared to ascend to heaven. And of course, it is nice that it has a hinge joint on the mandibles as well. But of course, he also has the famous double jointed elbows, and of course, the Narcissus wrist and wrist rotation. And of course, the fingers aren't articulated, but it does have a shape of a 5mm port to slot in, and that one is for this included staff, which is a part of his accessory, which does disattach and then you can literally slot into place and literally tap into place when in use. Now that's a cool badass pose he's pulling. Also, the side note of his design, which looks a little bit alien as well, but also Egyptian, is that his feet, while finally isn't really spring-loaded, thank goodness, and it's actually more poseable as well. But when you literally take away these feet, he does look like he's literally wearing General Grievous' feet. So I literally imagine him being a robot, a transforming General Grievous.
General Kenobi!
And great, now I can't unsee that. Even his leg articulation is literally like a General Grievous, with multiple hinges and just has no hinge there, which pretty much sucks. But he does have a toe up, down, and a pivot, so he does move pretty well. And you can also put a 5mm port, or 3mm port there just to make for a display stand. And I'm not gonna show it. But here he is next to the other Transformers I have in my collection. Okay, let's get into the worst part about this figure, the alt mode, or as you can say, what alt mode. First things first, you literally need to rotate the legs, and then you just fold up the feet, and then you just swing, and then you do the same for the other one. Next, you literally just untap these, and I'm just gonna fucking remove them. I don't care, it's parts forming. They just suck when you literally have to transform him. So I just fillet his chest piece here, just to cover up his annoying face. And then I just fold up the feet, the crotch section, and then just also fold up these pieces right here, fold up the arms, and then also make sure that you also tab into this slot, and then boom, and also rotate the arms, like so. And once you tab these legs into place, and tab this piece into this port right here, just to lock everything in, like so, for both sides. Because the end result, when you also attach the weapon, like so, for both sides, you have the, what on earth is... You thought the original was kind of tacked in? Then you boy have not seen everything. I am not gonna lie, this is literally the equivalent of the sequels that Hasbro and Paramount literally trying to push in. Especially with the Bumblebee and the Rise of the Beast, where it has some quality, but then you realize once you watch them, it's just nothing but the same. And when you literally try to talk even more, everything just makes you leave the question why it even was made in the first place. I mean, I guess you can literally fan mode it to make the Sun Harvester, which is a nice fan mode or secret mode. Even though those people trying to prove that this is actually a canon mode is just desperate at this point. And who really gives a shit about the Sun Harvester at this point, right? But at least I can now finally show off the flight gimmick that he can have. And here we have him flying. Which... I mean, he can fly now. This is literally how the Hasbro market cap literally fell down the grades when their sales are going downhill. But I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy this alt mode. I mean, it's really just pretentious and stupid, but in a fun way possible. And it is literally just a space kind of alien craft, so... It has some fun gimmick, even though it is a pointless alt mode that no one is gonna have display in their collection, right? Anyway, size comparison. So overall, the Studio Series The Fallen is a nice addition to the Studio Series, and I highly recommend you if you want to get a The Fallen. That is, if you actually like the character. Since, of course, it's not really for everyone, which I'm completely fine with it. Since there's still people with common sense. And considering Studio Series just releases some just the most random crap they just released nowadays. I mean, there's some that are alright, but they just, why do they exist? But the concept there, Bumblebee Megatron, looks pretty cool. But yeah, as you all saw my tweet, my community post, yeah, I'm really gonna take a break of actually collecting figures. And by that I mean actually collecting Transformers by Hasbro. Since for a reason like this, there's just too many of them. And seeing the Rise of the Beast really just killed my mood of collecting Studio Series and actual just Transformers in general. But it is nice to have this guy in my collection. Though he's not worthy of $70. If you wanted the Fallen, that's actually pretty accurate while not having that much articulation. And it's probably a side grade. I recommend you find it for cheaper. Since the aftermarket, well, you know, typical eBay scalpers. Anyway, that's all. And happy Halloween, everybody. Wait, what is that sound? Oh no, not this crap again. And also, if you see on the background, yeah, stay tuned.